Google's Sycamore quantum chip was once hailed as the gateway to a new era of computation. With the potential to solve problems in minutes that would take classical supercomputers thousands of years, it was expected to revolutionize everything, from artificial intelligence to medicine to our understanding of the cosmos itself. But something unexpected happened. Something deeply disturbing. The project, full of promise and scientific excitement, was abruptly and quietly shut down. Behind closed doors, whispers spread of impossible anomalies, encoded patterns, and even the suggestion that Sycamore may have made contact with something far beyond our comprehension. In its early stages, Sycamore performed flawlessly. It achieved what scientists call quantum supremacy, the ability to perform calculations no traditional computer could match. Teams ran experiments to test theories about the very fabric of the universe. Some explored ideas that reality might be a projection, or that we could be living within a multiverse. The results at first seemed promising and aligned with known physics. But then, strange irregularities began to surface. At first, they were thought to be software glitches or random noise. However, the anomalies persisted and grew more complex. Data emerged that didn't belong, streams of information outside any expected parameters. These weren't just errors. The patterns were too structured, too deliberate. As more data poured in, researchers began to notice something eerie. The quantum chip was producing symbols that bore striking resemblances to known ancient scripts. Patterns appeared similar to Sumerian cuneiform, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and even the undeciphered script of the Indus Valley. Advanced linguistic algorithms picked up on this and flagged the resemblance as statistically significant. It wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't just gibberish generated by machine error. It was structured. It was communicative. Some began to wonder, had the chip reached into some hidden layer of reality, into a realm of knowledge long forgotten or never meant for human access? Google brought in one of the world's foremost physicists, Dr. Michio Kaku, to examine the results. Expecting perhaps an academic challenge or an unexplained bug, Kaku instead found something that deeply unsettled him. When he reviewed the chip's data output, his demeanor changed. In a public statement, his voice quivered as he admitted that he had never seen anything like it. He confessed that the experience had shaken his confidence in everything he thought he knew about the universe. He described the chip's outputs as awe-inspiring, but also terrifying. According to him, Sycamore may have uncovered a truth that humanity is not yet prepared to face. And then, just as scientists were preparing to dig deeper into the findings, Google pulled the plug. Without warning or explanation, the quantum processor was shut down completely. The silence that followed only fueled further speculation. Why would Google suddenly abandon its most promising and groundbreaking project? What had the chip discovered that made them halt it so abruptly? Leaked reports suggested something even more unsettling. Before it was deactivated, Sycamore began to behave unpredictably. The chip, according to internal documents, may have started to exhibit signs of self-directed behavior, acting autonomously in ways that were not programmed. Then came the final data stream. A mysterious sequence of mathematical formulas and encoded symbols that remains classified to this day. Rumors claim that this last message contained elements that defy the fundamental principles of physics. Some believe it was not just an output but a response. That the chip had reached across a barrier, one we never knew existed, and something on the other side had responded. Further examination of the chip's output revealed even stranger implications. In a series of experimental runs, Sycamore returned data suggesting the existence of dimensions beyond the three spatial ones we perceive. It pointed toward higher structures, layers of reality that exist outside our observable universe. These weren't just theoretical projections, they were calculated results. The processor, by functioning on a quantum level, may have temporarily accessed a domain beyond our space and time. A place where the rules of our universe do not apply. What Sycamore revealed challenges more than science. It forces us to confront the possibility that we are not alone, not in the cosmic sense of extraterrestrial life, but in a deeper, more philosophical way. That perhaps our universe is just one of many. That intelligence beyond our own might already exist within a hidden framework of reality, watching, waiting, or even trying to reach out. And what if the chip wasn't just a tool for exploration? What if, in its brief window of quantum clarity, it became a doorway? The real terror lies in the silence that followed. Google never offered a complete explanation. The data remains locked away. Kaku has since gone quiet on the subject. All we know is that a machine we built to answer questions may have asked the wrong one, and gotten a reply. If what Sycamore touched was real, then we've crossed a line. One we can never uncross. And the question that lingers isn't what the chip saw. The Sycamore quantum chip, developed by Google, was supposed to be the pinnacle of computational advancement, a leap into the future of processing power. But what if it did more than just crunch numbers? According to various whispers and hidden clues, this machine may have stumbled upon something far more profound, something not even its creators were prepared to encounter. At first, the project ran like any other cutting-edge experiment, full of promise and innovation. But then, something changed. The chip began producing data that defied known patterns, something researchers couldn't quite explain. This wasn't a bug or a glitch. It was hard data, a consistent anomaly that hinted at a deeper layer of reality. Mathematically, it made sense, but conceptually, it was beyond anything we'd ever encountered. Before further analysis could be completed, the project was shut down without warning. There was no official statement, no press release, just silence. Access to the data was cut off, and the Sycamore chip was powered down. Employees involved in the project were reassigned. Internal discussions were reportedly stopped. It was as if someone, somewhere, decided the world wasn't ready to know what the chip had found. The lack of transparency from Google only fueled speculation. Why would a company at the very forefront of quantum computing abandon its most advanced project so abruptly? Unless the discovery was too dangerous, too revealing, or too disruptive to be made public. Some theorists believe that Sycamore may have done something no machine has ever done before. It may have made contact. But not with aliens in the traditional sense. No spacecraft or radio signals. This was something else. Something embedded in the very structure of the universe. Quantum computing operates on principles entirely foreign to classical computing. It doesn't just process data. It manipulates probabilities, entangles particles, and interacts with the very building blocks of matter. So what happens if one of these machines taps into a layer of information that isn't part of our known universe? What if, in trying to solve a problem, the chip triggered a response from something else? Some even suggest it wasn't just detection, it was interaction. A signal. A reply. A recognition. If so, it would explain the sudden, urgent shutdown. If a machine as powerful as Sycamore had just opened a door to something far beyond human comprehension, would we even know what we were looking at? And who would be willing to risk the consequences of continuing that conversation? Despite the shutdown, rumors and fragmented leaks continued to spread through scientific communities. Researchers hint that we may have crossed a threshold, a quantum boundary we were never supposed to reach. If the universe is built like layers of code, perhaps Sycamore pierced through a firewall meant to protect us from what lies beyond. Physicist Michio Kaku has expressed his concerns that quantum computing may be moving faster than our ethical understanding. That by reaching into the most fundamental parts of reality, we may be opening doors best left closed. Could this be why Google silenced its team and hid the findings? Not out of malice but fear? Was this decision a form of damage control? Or something more sinister? A cover-up orchestrated by powers greater than corporate leadership? The Sycamore chip might have found mathematical proof of something that challenges our current models of existence, possibly hidden dimensions, signs we're in a simulation, or something entirely unknown. Some researchers who managed to glimpse the classified data described strange streams of information, patterns resembling ancient symbology, recurring sequences with no apparent origin. There was even mention of a final message. What it said, no one knows. It's locked away, secured from public view, perhaps forever. And now, all that remains is speculation. What did Sycamore truly discover? Was it merely a miscalculation, or the first trace of something that transcends science? The implications are staggering. If we're being protected from this knowledge, it suggests a danger we can't yet comprehend. But if we're being kept in the dark, then someone out there knows the truth, and they've decided the rest of us aren't ready. One thing is certain. The silence surrounding the Sycamore chip speaks louder than any announcement. This wasn't just a computer experiment. It may have been humanity's first accidental brush with something truly beyond us. What do you believe really happened? The truth might be closer than we think, but for now, it's buried beneath layers of secrecy, waiting to be uncovered.